This video is going to explain how you can make use of the Mailmerge facility within Microsoft Word. This particular scenario is actually going to focus on creating and generating emails to individual candidates in response to a job application. Okay. I know that it sounds like I've gone a little bit crazy because I've started to talk about email, but that is something that you can do from within the Mailmerge facility in Microsoft Word. Now, with anything to do with Mailmerge, regardless of whether or not you're trying to send out emails or whether or not you're trying to generate letters, you will find yourself using two separate files. So the first file here, I've got the kind of template email that I want to send out to people, okay? This could be a letter, but in my scenario, it's going to be an email. The other file that I'm referring to is something called the data source. Now, the data source, you need to consider that it's like the backbone of your Mailmerge process. So without this, you obviously can't generate that individual letters or individual emails that have particular information for each individual candidate. So here, for example, I've got their first name, I've got their surname. Of course, I've got an email address. I will find it very, very difficult to email out to people if I don't have that. I've also, even though I don't need them for my scenario, I've got various address information. Now, here we go with some specific information for each candidate. So they're all expected to attend on a certain day. Some of these are coming on the 21st of October. Some of them are attending on the 22nd of October. They've all got individual times as well during which they're expected to attend. They've all got a particular room number that they're expected to attend. Some of them are in room 101, some of them are in room 102. And what I will point out, in case you think I'm contravening any kind of GDPR, is that I got some artificial intelligence to generate all of these names and addresses. No one lives at these addresses. I don't even think that the addresses are real. Some of the names might be, but they're definitely just fake for the purposes of this tutorial. So this is what I need as a data source. All of this information is really, really important. However, to be able to link, to connect my template letter/email to all of these different people, I need to close my data source. So this here, we've got Excel, that's my data source. Technically, this could be a Word table, it could be Microsoft Access, but I'm going to use Excel. I'm going to close it down, so I'm just going to click on the cross in the corner. That's going to take me straight back into my Word document, ready to start the Mailmerge process. And I can see here on my template email that I've got an area where I will expect to see the candidate's name, an area where I'd expect to see their particular interview date for each candidate, the particular time that they're expected to attend, the room number that we want them to go to. So you can see that this is just a generic letter, but eventually there's going to be some very specific information for each individual candidate being pulled through from my data source. Now, Mailmerge is done from the Mailings tab that I'm giving my mouse a wiggle around right now. Now, Mailmerge is really quite unique in the way that it uses that ribbon. So your ribbon being all of these different buttons, some of which are currently grayed out, but you can see that they're there. So it's really quite unique because it is the only ribbon where you are expected to use it from a left to right fashion. All right, and I'm just going to emphasize that again because it's magical the way that it's done. You're going to start at the left, and by the time you're ready to finish your merge, you'll be at the right-hand side. So I can see my first two buttons, envelopes and labels, and what I want to do, but obviously they're there for the chosen. I've got start Mailmerge, and I can choose a letter here. I can choose email messages. Envelopes and labels are still there. Don't worry, that would link straight to the Active Directory, I believe, in Microsoft Outlook. Don't worry about normal Word. You do have a Mailmerge wizard. I'm not going to use that today. I've come across people when I've been teaching, they love the wizard. I prefer to use the ribbon in that left to right process that we're looking at now. So I could choose email messages, and it feels like, because of what I want to do that I've already explained, that would be the natural choice. However, that completely changes the look and feel of my screen, and I am not a fan of this particular view. So weirdly, I'm going to leave that set to letters because even though I've selected letters, you can still use email. You can still email all of the recipients using that particular button. So I'll leave that set to start Mailmerge and then letters. My second button is now ready for me to click on and it says select recipients. Now in here, you can say, for example, type in from a brand new Word document, that would be type the list and start to pull everything together. We don't need to do that. We've already got an existing list. So I'm going to choose that second option. Now, straight away, it will want to browse. It's literally wanting to know, where is that backbone? Where is that Excel file that you showed me earlier? So I'm going to make sure that I go into the right place. I know exactly where I'd saved it, because that's essential as well, is making sure that when you're saving the different things, the template email, the list of names and addresses and emails, that you know where they are, so that when you're clicking on this particular button, the select recipients button, that you can locate it with ease. Now, what this will do is it will bring up a list of different worksheets that existed in that Excel file that we were in seconds ago. Now, I've been a bit savvy here because I know that it would make my life easier to rename that worksheet. So I did actually rename a worksheet in Excel. I forgot to mention it to you earlier, and I called it candidates. Now, from there, you can click it and then you can click OK. It's important that you've got this option ticked too. The first row of data contains column headers. You can double click the name of the worksheet as well. That will work just as easily as clicking the OK button. So we've done Start Mailmerge, we've done Select Recipients. Next to do is the Edit Recipient List. Now, what this particular button does is it links directly to that data source that you've just connected your Word file to. So this is everything that was in that Excel file. So this is brilliant because it means that I can kind of like, if I hadn't already been really savvy and familiarized myself with the data, I can see it here and I can see exactly what's contained within each field. But the other thing that this is really useful for is just kind of going, well, actually, I would like this to be in A to Z order. So you can apply almost a little bit of Excel functionality here. But the bit that I like the best and the bit that's most useful is the filter side of things. So let's say, for example, today I just want to send out the emails to the people who were due to attend their interview in 2 weeks' time, which is the 21st of October 2024. Annoyingly, this is now being displayed in month, day, year format. I promise you in the Excel file, I don't know if you noticed, but it was actually displayed in day, month, year. So that is a little bit annoying, probably something to do with my regional settings that I've forgotten to change in the background here, even though I'm sure that I did. Anyway, so I'm going to choose this one. I just want to filter out and only email the people who are coming for interview on the 21st of October. And now we can see there's 5 of them that are due to be coming along. You've got their individual interview times being pulled through. You've got the room number being pulled through. You've definitely got email addresses for each of them. So you can see your data really clearly here. I'm ready to click OK. So we've done Mailmerge recipient list, edit recipient list. We don't need to, for the purposes of generating an email, we don't need to use any of these here. We don't, oh, tell a lie, we do need to insert merge fields. I nearly missed that bit completely. Bear with me. Okay, so where this currently says candidate's name, it kind of feels like that's a merge field, but I want to make it really clear to you that it isn't. A merge field will go grey when you click on it, so I definitely know these aren't merge fields either. The other thing that you will see around a true merge field are double chevrons, so let's just explore this now. I'm just going to delete that candidate's name, even though I know that's what should be being pulled through. I've backspaced to delete the space bar, and I've got rid of the comma because they're a little bit old school nowadays, aren't they? I do need to build that space bar in though. I do want a space to appear between the word dear and where the first name is going to appear. Then I'm going to focus on insert merge field. Now this button has 2 elements to it. The top half brings up a list of all of the different fields. Ignore this F11. That's again something that I should have deleted before I started this video. So this does bring them all up. But if I'm completely honest, I'm not a fan of that what I prefer to do is click on the lower half of the button and then just kind of go, well, I want the first name, so I'll click on it. There's my double chevrons. There's my grey when I click on it. I'd need another space bar building in to separate first name and surname so that I'm being really specific and formal because we don't know these people. So dear first name, surname. Hope this email finds you well, blah, 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 blah about the administration assistant role. I also want to build in the merge fields that represent their individual interview date. And then I can afford to delete this information that was just guiding me towards what information was expected. The interview time can now be built in. And again, I'll delete the guide. The room number can be built in. And then we can delete what was waiting to help us. Please ensure that you arrive 10 minutes early. If you need to reschedule, please don't hesitate to contact us. And you've even got a yours sincerely and then your name. Now, moving along, we're not going to look at rules or match fields. We do, however, want to make use of preview results, and I can't emphasize this is a fantastic tool. When you click on preview results, it will give you a lovely indication of what your emails are going to look like. Okay, so this is clever because it means that you can also make use of this plus and negative, left and right, to just flick through each individual recipient to just make sure that everything looks okay and that those merge fields are actually working, and they are, so that's brilliant. So the next step, just moving across, we've got nothing to do with find recipient, don't need to check any errors, I'm happy with my data. I do need to, however, click on finish and merge. Now, if this was a letter with names and addresses on and so on and so forth, you could choose to edit those individual documents, or you could just choose to print them all out. This one saves you creating an additional file. But what we want to do in our scenario, we want to just click this button that says send email messages. When you click this button, you'll get an additional dialog box because obviously, because this is going to be an email, you really want some sort of subject line, interview details, interview timings, anything like that for this particular scenario would work. You've also got, and I skipped it slightly, but let's go back. Where is the field that contains the email addresses? Well, it goes without saying, we've named it correctly. It's called email address. So that's going to use that to send everybody's email out to them. Your mail format, you don't really want to send it as an attachment because this kind of can be the body of the actual email. So leave it set to attachment. You could use plain text, but HTML will be absolutely fine. You can leave it set to all. That will honor the filtering that we set up in edit recipient list. That's fine. I'm not going to click this OK button because I'll get 5 undeliverables that bounce back into my Outlook. However, when you definitely are happy with what you've created and you want to merge and send the emails, because that will basically send out all of those emails, you can click the OK button. The brilliant thing about this process as well is that it does populate a sent items box. So you will see proof and evidence that the emails went out to the 5 recipients or 25 recipients, if that's however many there was. So you've got that there. And obviously they'll have that email that sits in their inbox when they receive it. They can reply to it and it will go straight into your inbox. So it's a brilliant process, massively underused in my opinion. OK would be the button that you want. I'm going to click cancel. So there we go. I hope that that was useful and thank you for watching.